All right, so we are back at it again. Coach Purdy, Coach Tyler, trying to hit you up with a quick. Hey, we both got McCracken gear on today. Just happened to work out that way. So, trying to hit you up with a quick recap of some different things. We got youth practice tonight, so we're gonna be rolling out of here. So, kind of on purpose gives us a little time crunch, so we're not gonna have another hour-long episode. So, we're gonna keep this 20 to 30 minutes. And really, we just wanted to get together and talk a little bit because. There's a lot of just really good wrestling that was going on, and we've already talked about a bunch of it. And we're like, all right, so we need to just go ahead and try to record real quick. Where do you want to start?
Which match do you want to start out? Because it was the top 4 teams in the country this weekend all wrestled. They wrestled each other, but not like it wasn't.
Well, So let's take it a step further back. So last time we talked, we highlighted Penn State and Ohio State, right?
Yes.
That's what we were talking about.
1 and 1A.
Yeah. So that's the one we were talking about, and we both picked Ohio State to win, and we were
wrong.
Both wrong. Wow, I did not
wrong
see
by
that.
1 point.
I just did not see it. Penn State, they pulled out all the stops. We
Even
talked
with
about it.
Nolf out.
Nolf was out. What do you think? Right call, wrong call?
Yeah, 100%. I think it was the right call. They the smaller venue ended up playing a huge role. And
they were right on top of them. That being said, though, you can't leave that outcome up to a venue.
Yeah.
What I did find surprising about that was
Kellen Moore lost, didn't he?
Yeah, that was
a huge upset. That was a huge upset.
If he'd have won, then
it would have been locked.
It would have been locked there. There were just matches that went both ways. Great duel though. Just wow. That was a great duel. I just still was flabbergasted that we were wrong.
Yeah.
Not to say that that's not going to happen. We will be, but I didn't see how on paper the matches I really thought were a lock were going to be a lock. But I guess that just goes to show the great thing about wrestling is nothing's a lock. And what I liked about it is none of them were fluke losses. Nobody tripped and fell to their back. Everybody that I don't know.
Yeah, what got me is I really thought Ohio State would have came out on top simply because they just have more. They have better between 125 and 133. That's where Penn State really lacks, and it's gonna show here in a second. But no, that's where they lack, and I thought that those 2 weight classes could have, almost decided the entire duel. Just because if Ohio State starts out hot, they get up by a big lead, then hey.
Yeah, we were both wrong on that one. Just wow. But either way, it was a great duel, fun to watch. It was awesome. Really enjoyed it. And then, so that was last weekend.
Yep.
And then we got into this past weekend.
Rivalry weekend, kind of.
Kind of to an extent, yeah. What's kind of getting fun right now is we're getting to the end of the regular season. There's about to be conference run times. Yep. There's 1 to 2 more duels left for I guess the different conferences, and just. The wrestling is just firing in all cylinders right now, and it's just fun to watch. I wanted to spaz out and stay up all night and watch matches that I hadn't seen yet and stuff like that. So, and for those of you who haven't watched any wrestling, you guys got to tune in. Whether it be we were lucky enough to watch one on ESPN2, the Big Ten Network, Flow, YouTube, something. I don't care what it is, but. Almost everybody tuned in for the Super Bowl, whether you played football or not. But those of you guys that are wrestlers, come on, you gotta tune in and watch. You gotta tune in and watch, see some stuff. I saw a post that somebody had posted watching one of the matches, said, to be the best, you gotta study the best. And I was like, that was a great little post that I saw, and I was like, you guys gotta watch. It's amazing stuff right now. There's smaller conferences. The Southern Conference, Chattanooga, is in. Yeah, you guys know that's where I went. But they're on, and that's free. You just log into some of these smaller schools, their websites. They have free links to the different stuff on there, and it's free to watch. There's no.
I think Canada does that too.
Yeah, a lot of they're in the Southern Conference too. So there's a lot of schools that you can watch their stuff without having to have a subscription to Flow, without having a subscription to. Big Ten to ESPN for a cable provider and all that kind of stuff. If you got it, great. I love Flow. Having access to that stuff is great. But I understand, I'm a working adult and a coach, and some people don't have all that. So All right, so I'll get off that watching it. But which match do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about
Let's talk about the one that
Iowa Penn
happened first.
State?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay.
That one happened first, so we'll talk about that. Number one,
And I did see all of that one.
Yeah.
Too, so
I did too. I had them both DVR'd. It's number one Penn State versus number three Iowa. Um,
Yeah.
So, what did you think going into it?
going into it, well, I'm watching this on our recording, so if our
Yeah.
playback is a little choppy, apologies. I think I've got to delete some stuff off my computer and free up some space, but at least hopefully the sound is recording right. But I think the screen is freezing. It's like it's buffering or something.
Worst come to
So-
worst, we can just do audio.
Yeah,
Go back to the
So-
old school.
but yeah, I didn't think I was gonna win the match. I was, as much as I was kind of, but all right. So all right, let me start. I was hoping that Iowa was gonna win, but I didn't think they were gonna win. But having seen Penn State beat Ohio State after I did not think that Penn State was gonna
Yeah.
win that match, I kind of cheered more for Iowa. Like, hey, the upsets can happen. And one we'll talk about, like when you thought it was an upset or not. But so yeah, I was Iowa cheering, hoping for the upset. It didn't happen. It didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what'd you think?
I thought the same thing. I really thought Penn State was. I wanted Iowa to win. Deep down in my heart, I wanted Iowa to win. Realistically, I knew Penn State was going to win because outside of.
But I could have said that about the Ohio State.
Well,
I was
yeah,
like,
you could've said
realistically,
that.
they're gonna win. But
I mean, you look outside of 25 and 33 for Penn State, then you start getting into Penn State's just got top guys.
who wins where? stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just and nothing against Iowa. Iowa, there are especially there are a few guys that get into like when you're looking around the like 74 and 84. Both of those guys, they're not ranked. They're not on. I don't want to say they're not on that level, but they're no Mark Hall. They're no.
And then that kind of
That's
it,
what
it
played
showed. They took 2 pins there,
back to back.
2 cradles. So that was quite interesting. I was really hoping that Nolf's weight, would equal out. Maybe they could get a win there, but I think Iowa's guy won there. I mean, not Iowa, but Penn State's guy still won. The backup still won.
Yeah, he. What's his name was?
Isn't
No,
he
no,
the
no, no,
person-
no.
Didn't
Bo
that-
Pfeiffer. Bo Pfeiffer wrestled Michael Kimmerer. Kimmerer won.
No,
yeah.
Kimmerer won. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. Kimmerer did win.
Yeah.
Because that's the dude that I thought looks like a boy band.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
Spencer Lee got the pin.
Spencer Lee got the pin, which I guess leads into some of the things kind of on the night. Just an overall takeaway. Great wrestling, great arena, great stuff. Bigger arena, which I really thought they would have done for Ohio State, but they chose not to. They've wrestled Iowa in this arena before, so they've always made this a big duel.
Yeah.
They've always kind of wanted to showcase it. And maybe at the beginning of the year they didn't know how close the stuff was going to be, but to say they couldn't have done it still boggles me a little bit. But yeah, it started off with Spencer Lee had him stuck.
Yeah, he did.
Then then they didn't call it, and then they finally did call it, and I was like, that was just kind of like the precursor for the night of like how the
it was
calls were gonna come.
foreshadowing to what was
I
going
was
to happen
like,
later.
wow, they don't want to give him the pin yet because they're like, can they,
If
so
it would
there
have
was
just been that match, if it was just that match, I could have looked past it. But I don't want to say it played like a huge
How quickly
part.
did stalling calls go?
Very quickly. There was one that
and
took
you
like
would
30
almost
seconds.
You would almost think that this was in Carver Hawkeye, where they're
Yeah.
known for stalling,
Yeah.
and like guys come out and they get stalling calls hit on them really quick. But
Was it Marinelli's match that I think he got hit with it, or he got hit with a warning in like 30 seconds? Got into a
Yeah.
little scramble and he
they
was
came up.
yeah he came up and he happened to be out and the rest warning.
So
I was like, whoa.
So they had the stalling calls, and then even though like it didn't matter any, like even the official was like, normally like with their head down on the mat, that's a clear cut thing, and I think it was when Kimmerer was wrestling the
Yeah.
dude. The Penn State guy had his head down, and they're like, I was like, why didn't they call stalling yet?
Yeah.
Like they were calling it quick.
Against
the other way.
Iowa.
And hey, this is just us being somewhat biased, having a fit about our team losing. Well, it's not really our team, just who we were cheering for the evening, but that's just kind of how I saw that, and I was like, wow, we're in Carver Hawkeye with it going the other way.
It was pretty blatant. I mean,
I kind of thought it was. No, and then like did you see it? Who was it that lined up on top for Penn State? Like, it's stomach and elbow. Did
Yeah.
you see him?
He went down. Yes,
He
yes. No, he went
started on
straight
the
to
wrist.
wrist. He went straight to the
He
wrist.
didn't.
Matter
He
of fact,
didn't
I think
start
it was
here. He didn't start here.
Yeah.
He didn't. He started here on the wrist. He was like,
I think it might
and then
have
like
been.
and took it straight to the tilt thing. I was like,
Let's see. I was gonna say because I think I don't know if I did or not. But
that
I think
was
I
one
have
that
it
got
written
me. It
down.
was like the fact that they didn't like caution. Let's get back
Yeah.
to it. So
It might have either been. It might have either been Rutherford or Rasheed, but no, it did have. I think it might have been Rasheed.
it had to be Rasheed because
yeah.
Rutherford pinned his. I don't know. Wait.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. No, he didn't. But
But yeah, no, I think it might have been him. But yeah, he started straight.
no,
up
it
on
was
the-
Rutherford. It was.
It was?
I think it was because he was.
It was
just
one of those two. Yeah, he just went straight to the
Dude,
wrist, and I was
straight
like,
to the wrist. I
Hold
was
up,
like,
can we get a caution here? Like,
caution
please
something.
throw a caution.
They're just completely like, whatever.
Yeah.
That being said, you'd mentioned it. Said, going back to it, is it an upset when what was Marinelli ranked?
Marinelli was ranked 4th, and Joseph obviously is number 1, which I think we talked about this in the last one. That Imar
Is it
is
an
the true
upset?
number 1.
Is it an upset? You said is it an upset when it's that highly ranked? Like 4-1 or something like that.
No, I do not.
Not really. Yes, it is in the sense that number 1 shouldn't lose to anybody and anything is an upset. But at the same time, though, I was like, I called it. I said Marinelli was winning it.
Oh yeah, I mean
that night.
absolutely.
I was like, I really am high on the bull.
Yeah, that is.
He is awesome. He's really good. That being said, I think Imar's number 1. But he was rightfully ranked number 1, but I really thought Imar's number 1. And him losing to the bull was completely plausible, and I foresaw it coming.
So how would you have them ranked now? Would you have it Imar, Marinelli, then Joseph, or how?
Who's currently number 3 if he was 4? So you got to see what falls in the mix of all that. I think he moves up to at least 3. I don't know if I drop Vincenzo past 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even. It's kind of like see how that mix up happens in there.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I do it for a lot of matches. I write down notes about
The boys out the window.
yeah, about what happens during the matches.
Yeah. So. All right. Anything of real true note worth? I think who's Penn State's heavyweight?
Penn State's is Neville's.
Neville's. He
And
beat
then
Sam Stoll.
Yeah, he beat Stoll. That one, it was actually a really close one.
It was a close one. And I really didn't think he was going to be a point scorer. Or that.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't going to be a point scorer, but the way he was wrestling at the Southern Scuffle and other things, I was not sold on Neville's. I was like, Penn State has got a weak spot.
Which he held out for.
And he
against,
did. No.
Against Snyder, too.
He did. So
He was
what I was
amazing.
going to say is I might be having to eat my words on whether or not how many points Neville's is going to score for them. I was like, I really saw him like, hey, he could get put out early and he wouldn't, and it wouldn't surprise me. But his wrestling's improving.
So yeah, and then outside of that, just it for a brief second with Iowa, and we mentioned it earlier. It's just their, I don't want to say lack of depth, but their upper weight classes where they are kind of, there's a couple guys like holes that need to be filled. Mark Hall and Bo Nickel both just went in there quick, cradles, gets the pin, and it went from being I think it was 13-9 to 21-13 at that point. So it was like just a 12-point swing, just bam, bam.
Yeah.
And that's what really set the tone. And I think that actually, honestly, I think that might have given Neville's kind of a
momentum.
Momentum. He's had that. He's
wanted to do it and stuff.
So that could have been it.
All right. So just since we're trying to stay on our time crunch, because still we got to get ready to practice and get ready for youth. Another big match was Michigan, Ohio State. In football, it's a huge rivalry. I mean, in wrestling, I guess it is to an extent, but it wasn't. They didn't hype it up as much as they hyped up Ohio State versus Penn State.
But I don't see why. It's number 2 versus number 4.
But it was still, but it's still trying out number 2 versus number 4. 1 or 2 point duel in the end.
3.
Was it 3-point duel? I mean, it was close.
So what is it now? We mentioned it for Iowa, Penn State. Now going into it, what did you think about this one?
I knew that Michigan had several good guys, and I know that they're a team that we talked about, like how come teams aren't talking about them as much at the beginning of the year with the number of like All-American and All-American contenders, like they should be talked about more. That being said, I didn't think it was going to be a 3-point duel.
and I'm
Did
a
not
Michigan
think it was
fan.
going to be a
I
three-point
love
game.
Michigan. I'm a Michigan fan, and I really thought the way that Iowa Penn State turned out, I really thought that's how Ohio State Michigan was going to turn out.
Yeah, a little lopsided, but
yeah,
oh my goodness,
but
like
Michigan,
I turned it on.
yeah.
I missed the earlier matches. I turned it on, and uh, which Jordan brother is the younger, the
Micah.
lighter, Micah. I turned on, and Micah is getting pancaked to his back, and they were like, "Dude, if this turns out to be a 6-point swing," and then instantaneously I kind of laughed too because I could hear that mom in the crowd or the woman, he's pinned, he's pinned. I was like, it happens on all levels.
Yeah, it does.
And then even though he was clearly not pinned, but like he,
well, with the
like,
pancake, I thought he might have been.
He had him stacked in there. So, but I thought that was pretty impressive. It was crazy.
But yeah, Michigan. I mean, Michigan people.
They
Not
kept
enough
him.
people were talking about Michigan. They don't have.
They kept it close.
You know, they may not have like these number 1, 2, or 3 guys, but you know they'll hit you with these. They got guys who are number 5, number 7, number 9.
Mm-hmm.
They're hard wrestlers, like Abinator, like Pantelio. Even and later on, when I said they didn't have 1s or 2s, they do have a number 2, and we're gonna get to that one because that. I think that.
And that's almost. You want to highlight on that? And
yeah, let's go. Actually, let's go ahead and highlight it. So,
because
the heavyweights, Kyle Snyder versus Adam Kuhn.
Adam Kuhn ranked number 2, Kyle Snyder obviously ranked number 1, and
which everyone thought was a far number 1.
I thought they completely had it right with him being ranked number 1.
Oh yeah, I'm 100%.
That's my Costco card. All right,
found the Costco card.
Finding stuff here. All right. No, I thought it was a clear number 1, but oh my gosh, like when he stepped on the mat, I was like, Devin, my son was like, Kyle Snyder looks like a 65-pounder wrestling against a heavyweight. And somebody said the weight differential, there's more weight difference between 25 and 97 than there was between Kyle Snyder and Adam Kuhn. And the reason why there's such a difference is Adam Kuhn is a true heavyweight. When he graduates, he's going to wrestle heavyweight at senior level. Kyle Snyder is not a heavyweight. He wrestles the weight class below, and I can't remember the kilogram conversion of what his weight class is, but it's higher than 197 for the weight class. So he doesn't want to like cut. I think it's like the equivalent of 220. So I don't think he wants to cut down to 197 and wrestle 197. I mean that's kind of the way it is. And he wrestles heavyweight, so he doesn't have to cut during the other things.
But he's so strong.
Normally he is entirely been able to handle it. But even when they wrestled Gwiazdowski last year, Gwiazdowski still would be giving up 25 pounds against Kuhn. So like that's just how much bigger Kuhn is. I mean,
and he's 6'5".
That's a
whole lot of meat.
I think when I was watching, and I was just like, there's got to be a point when the weight differential is gonna play a factor. And as great as Kyle Snyder is, I mean he's not. I mean, he got in deep on that leg, and that time he was trying to pick him up, and like he has been doing to everybody else, it just wasn't there. And I was just like, he's just too big. There's finally a spot where he's too big. And then, guys, John Smith drill. What did he do when he got in? When Kuhn had him in on those shots, hips down, John Smith drill, circled around. I mean, he was textbook doing what we work in practice.
Yes.
And it was just too much for Kyle Snyder, and
he just
handled Kyle Snyder his loss, and
he crushed him on top. I say crushed, like I'm not talking about like he just was like tilting.
Man,
he was just so heavy.
He just kept on bringing him back down, and it was well played out in his mind.
I don't know if you heard about it. He coming into Michigan, he actually had
a shoulder injury. His legs, his lower bodies were always really big, and then he redshirted and got massively huge, and
his legs are like bigger than me.
So I think it was an amazing thing. He did it. Your thoughts on NCAA's, and then we'll kind of go over our little texting earlier what we were talking about. Like, what do you think? I mean, what else do you think about it? And I was kind of shocked when too, but
So are you talking about NCAA's as far as like like across or just heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
Okay, so
we're gonna have to cut this so we can go.
Yeah. So with just heavyweight,
nice and short for you.
So with just heavyweight, I think that Snyder, the competitive nature that he has. I think like Devin said, he might be overtraining, and I think come time for NCAA's, we're gonna see a different Snyder because now he's able to put more focus into his folk style.
Exactly. So my son Devin said it, and we didn't think about it. It was like it was just a mass massive size differential. And I was thinking it was just that, and then Devin was talking about it this morning, and he was like, Cal Snyder just looked a little tired. Maybe he's been overtraining because he's been doing so much. He's been traveling back and forth between the Olympic Training Center, between Ohio State, between doing these duels, between traveling just overseas just recently to be the second U.S. American to win back to back, or even two Eurasian titles, which is one of the hardest tournaments in the world, freestyle wise. So like, how much of all this has been taking its toll on his body, and then now and he just looked a little tired. I mean, granted, that performance I still think would have beat almost everybody else in that field.
Just not last night.
I was just like, wow, that was some great insight, and that's from a 9-year-old who's like, guys, watch. I mean, my 9-year-old's been watching wrestling, and he picked up on that. And then we talked about it, it's like, he could be right.
Yeah, 100%.
But I still also 100% agree. I think that now that freestyle season pretty much for him is going to be over until after NCAA's. We're going to see a different Snyder.
More focus. Well, I don't want to say
not more focus, but I think
more focus on folk style.
His attack is going to be a little different. It's been the same single to he's been hitting that on everybody. He had a little trouble with Neville's with it, and I think we're going to see him just his competitive spirit and the way he wrestles and the way he finds things. Yeah. He's going to find something new to get after.
It's just like someone said.
It's just going to be
It's not an excuse for Snyder, but it's just like someone said that Adam Kuhn beat folk style Snyder, not freestyle Snyder. So. That's
and I think that's going to make a big change coming up here soon.
But what happened with the rest of the Michigan Ohio State match? We'll kind of gloss over because we do have to leave here soon.
And we want to kind of get this up before we head out for you guys.
We already talked about Pantaleo almost stuffing
Jordan.
Yeah. Now Dominique Abinader wrestling Keyshawn Hayes. What'd you think of that?
Was that the Hayes or Miles Martin?
No, Miles Martin. My bad.
Miles
Martin. I was looking at Hayes and.
So I was about to say, I was like, no, wait, Miles Martin. Again, I've got to go back and try to watch the first matches. I want to see if there was a challenge block that could have been thrown. Now, I don't think it was a takedown, but I was wondering why didn't he throw in the challenge block? I mean, he's got it to use. Maybe you slow it down and the ref might see it on a split second before he gets around. I don't know. I'd have thrown a challenge block, but I'm guessing there was a reason why he didn't.
Yep.
But I was good. I was thinking good no call.
Yeah, see, that's
a good no call.
And I agree. It is a good no call, but it's just kind of funny to me because being a Michigan fan, it's watching Abinader for the second time get into one of those last minute type scrambles and not it go and
then the previous matches there was last minute to beat Jordan to get it.
And that happened with what's his name?
Bo Jordan.
Yeah, Bo Jordan, Miles Amin and Bo Jordan. At the very end, it was he finished it with 5 seconds left.
Right. So the precedence there could happen again.
Yep.
So
it's crazy night, and then outside of that, but that we talked about that one. That one was crazy. Colin Moore looked impressive.
Yeah, he was back. I think he needed that break, which I think Kyle Snyder will get, and he'll be back to looking like
Luke Pletcher lost.
Yeah.
To Stefan Micic.
Now, again, that's one of those things. Am I surprised? Micic's been.
He's been solid. Yeah, he's
one of the solid.
He's a number 5. I don't think he's a number 5. I think he should be higher. But Luke Pletcher also hadn't been putting up the points that number 2 should be putting up.
Yeah. So I wasn't surprised with that one in the sense that was. Yeah. And now would I have called it? Maybe, probably not. But was I surprised? No.
I really thought it was gonna be decision.
Yeah. Honestly. So, but all right, guys, we're gonna get ready to roll. Hey. Get out there, wrestle 6. We're about to go wrestle an hour. We're going to go wrestle 60 instead with our little youth guys. Going to go play some games, have some fun. Watch wrestling. Just go out and watch. Just watch. YouTube it. Watch it, guys. Educate yourselves on it. Have fun. Enjoy it. Watch it.
No excuses.
6. Watch 6. Whatever it is you got to do. And